Travelers on the Omnibus occasionally touches on mature subject matter with mature language. As such, audience discretion is advised.
Welcome to Travelers on the Omnibus, a field trip through nerd and pop culture. Ethan Skinner is still locked in the Phantom Zone.
Ethan Skinner has been replaced by a slime from Dragon Quest, a Skaven Deathmaster from Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and a random gnome.
If you keep like adding more people, like he's gonna get a big head about it because you have now it's taking 3 people when last time it took 2 people to replace him.
That's very true.
He's gonna get full of himself. And
I would argue the Skaven would be insulted by being called people.
This is true.
So yeah,
this is true.
I'm Jody Kite.
I'm James McCarthy.
I'm Brady Davis.
There you go.
I'd like to think that Ethan went to go see Superman, but instead of seeing the current Superman, saw Superman 1 and got trapped in the Phantom Zone permanently.
Also known as 1978.
Yeah. Also known as 1978. People online are complaining about what Crypto looks like, and also Guy Gardner, who looks exactly like Guy Gardner in the comics.
Yeah, people got mad at that, and then like Nathan Fillion responded, I chose that haircut. I told them to put me in that haircut because that's Guy Gardner's haircut. He's supposed to look like a dipshit.
Also, if you're complaining about aesthetics for a superhero movie in this day and age, stop. Yeah. If the movie's good, and it probably will be because it's James Gunn, stop complaining.
I watched a preliminary review, and it was very, very positive.
Yeah.
So
can't wait to see it. Hopefully, I'll see it sometime in the future before it's on digital.
I've seen the Jeffrey Johns review, and he was a big fan of the Snyderverse, so you can expect how that kind of went.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
If people complain that Superman smiles, please leave.
Yeah,
you can leave my
100%.
You can leave. Please leave the Discord chat. You're not needed here.
I am excited about this because it feels like everybody kind of gets the especially like even like the David Cornsweet like fucking get Superman, like they understand. Like somebody, like he was doing an interview and somebody was like asking him about the red shorts, and he was like, no, he has the red shorts because like he's this super powerful dude, but he wants you to feel like you can approach him because like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna wear this thing that looks a little stupid and a little dorky, so he feels approachable because he's basically a god. So like, in order to have people feel comfortable to approaching him and like talking to him, which is what he wants,
right?
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little silly and a little stupid and a little dumb and a little corny, because that I want you to be a little bit relatable. You know, I want you to feel like I don't want to be up here. I want to be like equal to you. Which is that's fucking Superman. Like
people also have been hot takes before a movie's even out. Irritates me even more considering like the state of Marvel's TV shows. Just why would you just wait? Yeah, the proof is in the pudding. Wait, watch it, complain about it later after you've seen it, and then get a lot of hate feedback because people don't understand that. I don't care as long as the writing and acting is good or at least halfway decent. I don't care who plays what role.
Yeah.
Let's go to Black Panther is one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time because it's good.
Yeah.
Really good. All right, so I'm gonna start with what I've been doing.
Okay.
So the free monthly game, so far it's only one for PlayStation 4, but that's fine because, you know, if they're going to give you like one really great game, why would you need like some extra trash, you know? And it's King of Fighters 15. And so I've played 25 hours since last weekend of King of Fighters 15, and it's stellar. I've enjoyed quite a bit of King of Fighters 15. I've gone through the story mode 3 times, one with random 3 characters, and the other 2 times I've picked different ones to try and see which characters I kind of like click with. And much like, you know, my play style in Street Fighter, I play mostly Rush characters. And in King of Fighters, this iteration is one is Vanessa. She's a boxer, so all of her moves are boxing moves, including her kick moves. She comes in and she does a lot of whirlwind uppercuts and shit like that. Really cool, like the vibe. Chris is really good. That character has like a really cool like teleport movement thing that character can do, and also has like an up and over control grab that can do some wild shit. There is, of course, you have a selection of the older fighters from the previous games, including from the Fatal Fury series. You have Terry, and then you have just big. There's a big roster as well. I like King of Fighters because unlike Street Fighter, they tend to add more new characters in their iterations. So I'm digging that one. I don't know if you guys have played a lot of King of Fighters.
The only thing that I have ever played that is even tangentially connected to King of Fighters was I played Capcom versus SNK.
Gotcha.
Millennium Fight.
Yeah.
I
I played that one. I liked. There were two versions of Iori that I really liked playing in that one.
Yeah.
Bloody Iori, the best, was
Right.
my favorite one.
Yeah,
But
they have-
both of them were very fun.
Yeah, they have him on this
But
one.
other
of
than
course.
that, like I've never played any of the other King of Fighter games.
There is a like
or Fatal Fury for that matter.
right. There is a hybrid character that's sort of like Ryu and Ken put together. I can't remember his name offhand right now at the moment, but he's got very similar movement and moves and things like that. It's really cool. I like the game is really balanced. Your ultimate super move is the same motion no matter who you play, so that makes the game a little bit easier. They have this really cool character. His name isn't Metatron, but it's very close, so that's what we're gonna stick with. But he carries a pillow. He's a sleepy guy, but he fights much like Drunken style.
Yeah.
So and he has charge moves and things like that. But I haven't figured him out yet because that's kind
so
of
bad at charge moves.
I'm not good at charge moves. I tend to go with rush characters that move really fast, have terrible defense, but if you get in and you do a lot of combos, you can really get in. That's why Elena is my main in Street Fighter Third Strike. So I'm digging that. I really enjoy it. If you like fighting games, it's really good. And free if you have a PlayStation. I watched 2 movies over the week. Both of them are A24 movies.
Okay.
The first one I watched was Companion.
I need to watch that one.
That stars the dude from The Boys.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. He's
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
yeah. Of course, he's terrific in this.
And Sophie Thatcher.
Yeah, Sophie Thatcher's in this, and she's in the other movie I watched.
I know what movie you watched.
Yeah. And so it just happened coincidentally. I'm like, oh, she was in both of these. What do you know?
You had a Sophie Thatcher day.
I did.
At the theater.
So this movie is, I'll say it's interesting. It doesn't really, like, don't expect anything, like, mind-blowing from it. It's definitely a popcorn type of, like, if Ex Machina was a popcorn movie, that's kind of the vibe. The movie really relies on when you get to the actual part of the movie where the plot starts to unravel, it starts to be better.
Oh, okay.
Because at first it just seems like a series of coincidences. Of course, it's an A24 movie. They're not coincidences.
Yeah.
These are things that are already, like, there's things in motion basically. So when you find out the exact reason for why, because, like, you know, at the trailer for this movie, you know, just shows her, like, running off. You know, it's like, oh, we lost the robot kind of thing, which I'd even forgotten about, like, her being a robot at the beginning of watching that, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is a movie where she's a robot. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's like pseudo futuristic, you know, where people have companion bots where, you know, you can purchase a robot and, you know, and they can be your companion, and then things go awry.
Yep.
And
That's usually how it works.
there are it's the robots are supposed to have the Asimov law programmed in them, and there are ways of getting around those safeguards. So that's all I'm going to say about that movie. I don't want to spoil anything. And then I watched Heretic.
Yeah. I've watched this one. Yeah.
Wow, what a movie!
Yeah.
It's. I really love the acting in it.
Yes.
Like the acting was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, everybody is super fucking
getting
great.
to see Hugh Grant play a maniacal madman is a fresh, thing to see him do.
Yeah.
The premise, at least the beginning of it, is also very interesting because normally, if you're in a horror movie with a madman, you don't invite yourself into their house. There are definitely a lot of tells early on that things aren't right, and these Mormon girls kind of realize that they might need to leave, and it kind of just doesn't ever happen.
Yeah.
It's I liked the explanation for the why to a degree until it became cliche. Until it became a cliche. There was a point where I was just like, oh man, if this is a real like thing that's happening, this is different and I like it. And then the payoff is kind of like, I wouldn't say like mediocre. It was just like, there's a build up and it doesn't feel like the payoff is big.
For this one, like the ending, which is like the last 10-15 minutes, just fell super flat to me. Like super, super flat.
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie is like great.
Yeah.
Like, really, really good.
It feels like the pacing is very deliberate, and you feel like you're engaged in everything that's happening as it's happening. Like the analogies that he's explaining, that like with the board games and things like that. Yeah. I was like because like if you're like really smart enough to know about certain religions and not religious, it's really like it's like, well, he's hitting on a lot of like truths with a lot of what he's saying. But unfortunately, he becomes more like a snake oil salesman near the end, where it's just like, okay, so this is all for naught kind of situation.
His kind of final point was like really deflating. But again, like the rest of the movie is like really, really good. And we had like a random Topher Grace cameo.
That's true too. I was like, oh, it's Topher. It's Topher Grace.
Yes, reprising his role as Venom from Spider-Man 3.
He's like,
he was still looking for Peter Parker.
He's like, wait a minute, I forgot something. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? It was like, it's the one time where like the first reveal is interesting, and then after the first reveal, you're kind of like, oh well. Now it was kind of cool when the second girl like started explaining how she figured out what was going on. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. And then when they get into the room with all the cages, I'm just like,
that basically was like super deflating, because it was like you built up to this big thing and then it didn't really, your kind of answer to everything didn't match that. Or it didn't feel like it was worth the all the build up.
The comeback at the near end really surprised me, because I didn't think about it. But then it was like also kind of for naught.
I mean, by then, like, I don't even remember much of the movie after that. By then I was just like, I wasn't like completely turned off from the movie, but I did like kind of check out a little bit.
Well, the spoiler real quick for Heretic, if you don't want to know, give me about 15 seconds. So there's a scene where like Hugh, like, when second girl is about to stab him, she goes to stab him, and like first girl like gets cut in the throat, and she falls over, like she's dead, because she's out of it for like 20 minutes or so or whatever, and then like at the near end, she wakes up
when she does come back. That was pretty good.
That was crazy. And then, but then it was just like, okay, the other girl dies, obviously, you know, I mean, you got stabbed in the stomach with a razor blade, and sees a butterfly that's not there. And then we fade to black and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, it had so many good ideas in it. Like, you know, him comparing Air I Breathe to Radiohead, and making all these like different analogies and things like that. And then the payoff was just very like empty.
Yeah. And then the way like you got all of his arguments got kind of turned on their head.
Right.
Was also really, really cool. Like I didn't see that coming.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
because the blonde didn't seem like she didn't really know what was going on, but she was actually smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
I like the movie. Okay. It's just like,
I won't go watch it again.
No, that's the thing. Like, I think it's probably worth watching once for at least to see the performances.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like it's not one that I would ever see myself buying, and it's not one that I would ever see myself even like checking out again. Like, I've seen it and I don't need to see it again.
Which is, it's kind of disappointing because, like, I will say, like, Companion was like, I would say, like, out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6. You know, the acting was decent. The dialogue was really good. The plot was very paint by numbers. On, you know, you could figure out what's happening. As soon as the turn happens, you know exactly what's going to happen. Okay. So, but it's worth watching. But that's another movie where I'm not going to watch it again. The next A24 movie I want to watch, which I don't think is on HBO yet, is the Death of the Unicorn movie.
Oh yeah, I've heard bad things about that.
Well,
which that's a disappointment for me because when that trailer came out, I won't say excited, but we're definitely
I was excited. Okay, it was a lot of people that I like in it, and it was an interesting premise.
Didn't want to speak for you. I knew there was interest in the room when we were talking about it. But
I was excited to see it. I was also excited to see Heretic more than I was excited to see Companion. And I'll dare say Companion's a better movie.
Yeah.
So that's just the way that goes. But that's me. Brady, what have you been up to?
All right, not a whole lot. I finished the book that I started reading, 100,000 Kingdoms. And if that tells you, and if you'll remember, I started reading it last week. So so that tells you that I kind of devoured this book. It was really, really good, really good. It for some reason, like there were things that happened in it that I didn't see coming that I probably should have, because it was like just kind of like the finale of how getting out of this situation was going to work. I was trying to figure it out, and for some reason I couldn't. But like, I really like the way, you know, it's heavy chord entry. There's almost like no like action in it. It's just like trying to play politics and figuring out things, and a little bit of mystery and like what went on. And it's a very interesting world. And it's one of those where, and like I said, it was super easy to read. Like I said, I devoured it and much quicker than I read usually, but it's really, really good. I would definitely say check this one out. I've heard that like there's another book by N.K. Jemisin. She did a trilogy. Can't remember what the trilogy is called, but the first book is called The Fifth Season. That one's supposed to be like her best book, and people say like it's better than this one. So like, and this was her first book, and it's pretty crazy because this was a very, very good book. Yeah, I would definitely say check this one out. And the interesting thing about it is it's part of a trilogy, but from just reading like the little like blurb synopses of the trilogy, like this story ended. Like you could read this book and be fine. You don't have to go. It's just that the next two books are just like further in the timeline in this world. Like you're probably gonna like the third one. I know there is a character. One of the main characters in that one is a character in this. Is a god from this first book. Who played a pretty big role. But it's just like later in the timeline of this world, and I feel like it looks like the second book is mostly like kind of somebody who you've never met having to deal with the consequences of the big upheavals that happened at the end of this book. But it doesn't feel like But like, I don't feel like, okay, to get the rest of the story, it's not like a Stormlight Archives or something like that, where to get the continuation of the story, I really need to read that. I will eventually read the other two, but I don't feel like I have to go right next to it to get the rest of the story. This was a complete book all on its own. So for that reason, I would, if you feel like, oh, I can't read like a trilogy of books, or like that's tedious to me, you can read just this book and be fine. I don't feel like if I never get around to reading the other books, I don't feel like I've missed anything. But yeah, this was very, very good. I definitely am going to try out more of N.K. Jemison's books. I have one that I bought forever ago because it was on sale at like Barnes and Nobles or something, called The City We Became. I definitely want to end up reading that one. That one's supposed to be very good, but I just never got around to it. I have tons of books on my bookshelf that I get and I put up there, and they sit there. But yeah, this one was very, very, very good. I would highly, highly recommend it especially if you like a political intrigue type fantasy book. Yeah, it's really good. Some very interesting characters. This would this would be a good one. I would think to see like a TV series or something of. This one you might even could do into like a movie. You would have to cut a lot of things, but yeah, it's really, really good. Highly, highly recommend that. And then I can't remember if I mentioned it, but when I bought some of the games that I bought, one of them was called Crossing Souls, and I actually got around to playing that one. This one's very interesting. It's basically like Stranger Things, the video game. You have a group of young kids, preteen teens in this small town where something happens, and they're trying to figure it out. It's like a Goonies or an ET type thing, and they're literal like homages. Like I just finished like a part where you're running away from the cops on your bike, and it's just like it plays like the jet ski things from like Battletoads or the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, like on the NES, the beat 'em ups where you were riding in like the sewers on your little skateboard thing, where you have to it tells you, hey, you gotta be here, you gotta be here somewhere on the thing, and you just gotta move really fast through it.
But hopefully more forgiving than Battletoads.
Yes, it was more. It only took me a few tries to get through it, but that is a direct homage to gameplay wise. It's that, but like the scene is fucking ET. Like you are running away from the cops on your bikes,
right?
So there's like these little homages from it, and it's like there's a little bit of like there's some like fighting aspects to it, but then there's also where it's kind of, there's a little bit of like Souls like light where you do have like a like your characters have a stamina meter, but it's not like as unforgiving as that game. Like you don't have to necessarily like really parry or dodge like you don't have to be like perfect with your timing and stuff like that. But you switch back and forth between total of 5 characters, and they each have their own specialties. Like the main kid, he has a baseball bat and he can climb. One kid is the smart kid, so he has like a laser pistol that he made, but he also has like rocket boots, so he can like hover. You got the girl has like a jump rope, so she's kind of like good at crowd control, but then she also can like stretch her jump rope and kind of catapult across different spaces. And then you got the big kid who can like pull heavy things, and he hits heavier, but he has less stamina. And you can just like flick back and forth between them like on the fly. And you can also interact like it's kind of like Stranger Things in that you get this device that can see into like the spirit world, kind of, where you can interact with spirits and stuff like that. And literally like the boss that I'm playing, like part of it is one of the characters has to do like basically a Simon game to not get like bad things happen to them, to not make it harder, basically. But yeah, it's a very interesting little game. It is like super. If you like Stranger Things or you like that 80s nostalgia, like this will give it to you. Like you have like all the characters are like your stereotypical from like the Goonies or from Stranger Things or something like that. So yeah, that one's very, very good. I haven't beat it yet. I think I'm about halfway through it ish. And it has some little twists and turns like very early in the game. There's some stuff that happens that I was like, oh shit, I think they were going to do that. But yeah, really, really good. Really good game. And you can find like little collectibles that are like either like a parody of like a movie or some music that came out at that time or something like that. It's kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's pretty fun. Yeah, but that's me.
Jay.
Hello, everyone. So, as we are recording this, we are in the middle of Prime Days, and I snapped up a Kindle Colorsoft. For 1 day delivery. I ordered it, and it was there the next day, so I was very happy about that. I got the cover for it, and I got the wireless charger for it. I also got it for more than 50% off, so bear that in mind as I'm giving you this review. I enjoy it so far. I've got the 3 months of Kindle Unlimited that comes with it, so I've got it in my mind to do a 6 series of books and hopefully have those done within the 90 days of it. To prove this, I'm going to hand my Kindle over to Brady. I was going to hand it over to Ethan, but Ethan is a slime right now, so I can't do that. So it is the first book in the series and not Lesbian Megalodon Shark Lifeguard Summer Butt Hunt. It's not one of the Chuck Tingle books that I have because I wanted to support Chuck Tingle because I like what he stands for and he's a good man.
He's actually a legitimate author now.
He's been a legitimate author.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, but no, it's the I've already read this book. I've already mentioned that on the show. But yeah, I'm looking to finish that series in the 90 days.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna see if that happens. So
I've been going to like I've been trying to like save some money and some space and go to like my local libraries and get some books. That's where I got the 100,000 Kingdoms. But I was looking like, hey, what do they have from Le Guin? Because they have a decent like fantasy. They have Earthsea, but it's like the entire
series,
and it's like I do not want to check this out from the library. I want to do it one book at a fucking time.
That's fair.
Even if you just had a Wizard of Earthsea, I would just read that one and I'd be fine with it. But I do not want to get the whole entire fucking thing because I don't even know if I want to read them all at once.
There you go.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's like a huge volume. And it's like that and like one other lesser known book that I wasn't familiar with. I was like, damn,
was it Lord of Darkness?
Possibly.
That's one of her sci-fi books.
Possibly, but it wasn't like any of like the sci-fi or other fantasy books.
Also, thank you for outing me for reading Earthsea.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that I was supposed to not.
You were supposed to keep that. That's why I only handed it to you.
Well, it's good that you're the editor and you can censor that.
No. The eggs have been broken, and we're going to break those eggs.
Whatever you say.
You should have been more upfront about like. I should have been.
No, that's fair. This is me showing that I'm an idiot.
I thought that you were just going to show it to me. Like, okay, that's cool.
It became the inception of bits, and the bit exposed what
exploded on me all over the place. But yes, no, I'm going to try in 90 days to finish the entire Earthsea saga.
Nice.
Okay.
So that's going to be fun. That. Yes. But yeah, there you go. So there was that. Cool. So that's pretty good. So I have started playing off of the Suikoden 1 and 2 remastered. I've started, of course, with Suikoden 1, the Gate Rune Wars, which I believe someone across the table from me has also bought it and hasn't received it yet.
Yeah, so. I get it Friday. Right. But at Prime, it's on sale for $30. But by the time this episode airs, it will not be on sale anymore.
Yes, unless I decide to really accelerate the thing and have it on Friday, and we'll see what happens there. But no, it's right now, first impressions, although I think I'm significantly through the game right now. It's about 14 hours worth of gameplay so far on it. I've enjoyed it tremendously so far. One thing that I wanted to touch on when you were talking about King of the Fighters 15, it's very refreshing to go to a good game system that isn't the typical you've played because you've typically only played under one company.
Yeah.
So like I think of Capcom, I think of Street Fighter, and I think of Street Fighter. Street Fighter to me is the quintessential fighting game. As far as that, you have 3 buttons for punch, 3 buttons for kick, and you have all the ability to move however you need in the field. But King of Fighters offers a much different way of taking on it, and it's still good and fresh, and it feels refreshing to kind of play that type.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I have played so many Square Enix RPGs in my life.
Yeah.
That Suikoden's take on things is very refreshing. I played it. I co-played it with a friend in college.
Right.
But the co-play was his PlayStation and it was his copy of the game. So it was like he played 80% of it.
Sure.
And I would dip in for 20%.
Sure.
And I remember it being fun, but I never could engage with the story because huge story points are just missing. And it's not like somebody said, he's there because this. It's like, oh, okay. The game suggests to you that the notion of Suikoden 1 is about fate, and that fate exists, but can you challenge it, and what's predetermined, what's not. And so there are a lot of decisions you made in the game, but if I have this is not a nitpick, this is a problem for me. Sometimes you cannot make the choice. It's like for some reason we mentioned Rambo when we were talking with friends. Rambo on the NES. It goes, are you ready to take this mission? And they give you the option yes or no. You go, no. But these people need you, John. No. But these people need you, John.
Yeah.
Then why why do this? Why do the Panama?
The not even the illusion of choice.
Yeah,
you have no choice.
It's a complete Panama.
Yeah.
So I'm playing the game and there's choices, and sometimes it's like, okay, I need to make this choice now. Okay, cool. And initially it felt that way. It felt like, okay, I'm making choices and hopefully I'm making the right choices so this game can move forward the way we need to move it forward. And then I got to one where it was like, there's an inn at the top of this mountain. It's like, would you like to come inside and have some tea? And it's like, yeah, sure. Why don't you have some tea? It's very bitter tea. And everyone said, no, I'm not going to drink any tea. Are you sure? You should drink the tea. No, I'm not going to have the tea. But it's an acquired taste. Drink the tea, and just it keeps going over and over again. I'm like, okay, I have to drink the tea.
Yeah.
So
obviously.
okay, so John, the game cannot progress until you accept the mission. You can't, John. The game cannot progress until you drink the tea. So drink the tea. Everybody gets knocked out, and then it's like, we're going to rob them. What, motherfucker? What are you? These are the Liberation Army. You can't. We work for them. Oh, we're very sorry. I made you drink the tea. It's like, there is a payoff to that later in the game, but it's like, I don't really get to choose.
No.
Okay, there's moments when I'm not going to get to choose, which makes sense. This game I think was like 94, 95,
something like that.
And so I don't get to totally choose every time I want to do stuff. So okay, so that makes me sad, but overall, I'm enjoying it so far. I haven't completed it, so this is not a final review, but first impressions are very positive for Suikoden 1. Then the big thing that a bunch of us did this week, we went over to Daphne, Alabama, just next to Scooby, Alabama, and just north of Velma, Alabama. It was very nice. And we went to the grand opening.
Don't ask about Shaggy, Alabama.
I heard Velma, Alabama's got a sequel.
Well, so many people went there. That they got a lot of tourists.
They changed the name to Birmingham. Anyway, so there we go. But no, we went to the grand opening of the Warhammer store in Daphne. I liked the store. It's a little smaller than I'd like it to be. Yeah, but they had a good.
It was actually bigger than I expected it to be.
Really? Okay, yes. So it's a little bit because.
But there were like a ton of people there.
To be fair, my only other Warhammer store that I've ever been in was the Battle Bunker in Memphis, which was gigantic.
Yeah.
What about that Minnie's place in Pensacola? What was it called?
Oh yeah.
So there's Level Up. Level Up had more space in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the comic shop that I cannot.
Yeah, both those places we went to have way more space.
Are significantly larger.
Yeah.
And ironically, we went to Gamers and Geeks also in Mobile, and they have a much bigger player. And they were playing like actual games of Warhammer that day. Yeah. That store is set up for demos.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. It's like, okay, you can get your product here. If you want to learn how, we can set up a little demo game, show how the mechanics work.
Yeah.
Maybe sell you a battle box or not a battle box, Combat Patrol or a Spearhead, and for whatever game you prefer. And you like one of these other games, okay?
They'll let you like they all have like you go to Warhammer store and they have like, oh, you like 40K. You can build a Space Marine and paint it right there, or you can build a Stormcast Eternal and paint it right there.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And they do that, so you're like, oh, no, this is
engaged.
cool. Now,
Yeah.
now maybe I want to buy, like you said, a spearhead or a combat
Gotcha.
patrol
Yeah,
or something
no,
like that.
I think
They know how to
set-
get you. Like
yeah.
they've been doing
Yeah.
this forever.
Yeah,
so.
the setup is very good. I like the fact that there's also a portal to the Games Workshop, or rather, I guess Warhammer site, where
Yeah.
you can, like, if it isn't in store and it's in stock online,
Mhm.
you can order it there. It's free delivery to there.
Oh, okay.
And it's always, no matter what you order. So if
Sure.
like you order something that would fall under the delivery amount to have free shipping from the Warhammer store, Warhammer Online, you can just get it on there. Boom, you're good to go.
Gotcha.
The little things like that. To me, a Warhammer store should be able to run like full-on events.
Mhm.
See, that's,
Where,
that's
like-
the difference.
yeah,
that
where-
you're expecting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where like you could have at least 20 people in there, and the way that store's set up, even if you like moved some stuff around,
Sure.
you are buried in the product.
Yeah.
Like you're playing, like you'd be playing right next to boxes on the wall that are stuff to buy.
Right.
Which means that if somebody wants to go buy that, they're now kind of interceding on your area of play,
Right.
or they're interceding into your area of play.
Yeah.
That's a negative, but it's not something that was like, don't go there because you can't. No.
Sure.
But it's just when you go there, have that kind of thing. Staff was extremely friendly.
Sure.
The lady at the counter was oh, did you get your free? We got a free miniature. We got a free coin. We got a free poster.
Yeah.
She was make sure that everybody was taken care of. So
Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah. God bless her, because
100%.
there was like
Yeah.
50 people in that store.
There was a line that for me was an Ouroboros because it's like I wasn't sure where it started or
Right.
ended, and it just wrapped around itself.
Man, it's
over.
like
I
they were
just was
selling-
looking at something and was like, okay, I'll get this. And I turned around, I was like, I guess this is the line, because everybody else that we were with was there, and I was like,
Man, it's like they were selling $2 pizzas or something.
yeah, I don't know.
You want to tell that story?
No,
real
I
quick?
don't.
You sure?
I don't. I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Censored.
Jesus Christ,
When they closed,
Censored.
Jesus Christ. Oof.
you may
Man.
be coming back to a cut, and if that is the case,
they had to.
Censored.
Damn.
Please cut that. Anyway.
you may have just come back from another cut. And if that is the case, it is what it is. But no, overall, Warhammer Store and Daphne,
Yeah.
I give it a plus.
Yeah.
I think it was a good
It
experience.
was, if you want Games Workshop shit, like nobody, like you're not gonna find it on sale or anything like that around here,
Yeah.
anywhere. So like if you're
The selection
over
of
there,
Level Up was pretty good, though, wasn't it? Also,
Level Up section was
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
Level
yeah.
Up selection for all the games they carry is
Yeah.
pretty good.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So the shout out to Pensacola and Level Up Games. At the comic store, which I can't remember the name of, and I get
Yeah.
that. They also had a fine selection of games there as
yeah,
well.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
But and again, what I like about the Warhammer stores there is like, again, if you just want to order, I just want to order this one model, and if
Yeah.
you live in the area, you
Right.
can order it. It will come to the store. You pay for it. You don't have to pay the shipping and handling.
right.
Yeah.
And it's just right there for you. So if you don't have like I think right now it's 70 or 80 bucks
Yeah.
before free shipping kicks
Sure.
in, which is not hard to get to
Right.
at Games Workshop.
Yeah.
But if like I said, it's all just this one model, you have an option now to go over there.
Yeah, I would say like it's cool if you like if we would have not decided to go over there, I would have never made it over there, because
Right.
like it's just like
Right.
Yeah. Well, for us, it's more than an hour. drive.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I can get it's Warhammer shit, so like I can get that somewhere else
Mhm.
at pretty much the same price. Like no, like I said, nobody's gonna have Warhammer show on sale. But it's a nice store, and I'd say if you're in the area and you want Warhammer shit, like go there. 'cause
Right.
they
And
have
Jay
a-
was telling
they
me
have a
like
good
it's like
selection.
30 minutes from Gamers and Geeks.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
ish.
So if you want to
if you
play a
wanted to
bigger game
play,
of stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
Depending
think-
on what time you went and how easy or hard it was to get back over the causeway.
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe not the same
So
day.
we were driving east towards Daphne, and we
Uh-oh.
looked at the western bound
Uh-oh.
traffic,
Yeah.
and it was a nightmare.
Yeah. Not as bad as that area when it's about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh yeah, the
during a weekday.
the rush
That
hour
is
traffic is
that is a
nightmare.
Fucking nightmare.
Well, that's West and East. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
there had to have been an accident.
Yeah.
I have to imagine the accident
almost
to
always
jam it
is.
that one
Yeah.
side that bad. Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice. And we went to Gamers and Geeks. It's Gamers and Geeks. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We went to another shop, which I can't remember the name of right now, and I'm very sorry for that.
That place was decent.
Yeah, they had more play area.
Yeah, they had they were like 90% play area.
Was that also in Daphne?
No,
that was in Mobile.
In Mobile proper.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was another place besides Gamer and Geeks.
It's one that Jason Holder just found out about, and we went over there to check it out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's more on like the outskirts. It's there's like one road that you can go, not quite that far. It's on the outskirts, more towards Mississippi.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Like one of those like last exits that
Theodore Dawes.
I think it's like Theodore.
Yeah.
Theodore Dawes, I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I know where things are. I just don't know what they're called in Mobile.
We then ate at Fusakli. That was very
That
nice.
sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was good. It's
Yep.
good stuff. It's a chicken strip place, so most of them were good.
Mm-hmm.
It's you have to literally try to be food poisoning people to have a bad chicken tender place.
I don't know.
I think Cane's is overrated. Like
did John Sheldon go with you?
Their chicken strips are very mid.
No, John and I are planning like a trip with another friend of ours.
That's why you
work.
have to get the sauce.
Yeah,
you have to, like, you can't eat those without sauce.
No, you can't.
Most other places you can though.
Mm-hmm.
But we're planning a trip to the Warhammer store, like not this month or not anytime soon.
The one in
like,
Daphne,
but probably like maybe at the start of fall after Labor Day. So and because he and his wife go over there about twice a month for the Costco.
Sure,
because they have a Costco account.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, they load up on groceries there, and just boom, they're done. But yeah, no. So that is a plan in the back of heads.
Nice.
I do want to say we got our friend Chris now deeper into Age of Sigmar thanks to buying a Slaves to Darkness Spearhead. Jesus Christ! I want to call them like starter collectings, because that's what they used to be called. Start collecting boxes, and then just kind of
that's the smaller skirmish game.
Yeah, it's basically a pared down version. Well, it's basically the starter kit for Age of Sigmar, and then there you can play a game mode basically called Spearhead, which is a much smaller pared down rule set. It uses some of the same rules, but then like, instead of like, you have things called commands that you can issue by spending points. Instead of doing that, now it's all on cards, and scoring extra things is now on cards too. So you have to play these cards.
That's very helpful.
So like I think you would like Spearhead a lot, because it's so pared down. There's much less rules overhead.
It's like I'm not stupid. I played like strategy games.
No, but like playing even like a thousand point game.
No, I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just like I enjoyed the game that me and Ethan played. The problem is we forgot half the rules with half the models, because there were so many models on the table.
That's and that wasn't even like a full size
game.
Yeah,
we were playing half points.
This is even like smaller than that.
Right.
Like, this is like half.
Yeah,
like
I probably would dig that way
half
more.
Of that. And it's a cool game mode, because it plays much shorter.
Right.
Like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
once you know how to do things.
Better.
Everybody gets like all the armies are set, and they even change around, and it's better balanced. The problem there was something similar in 40K called Combat Patrol, but the problem with that one is it's not very well balanced. Like some combat patrols are much better and much stronger than the other ones.
And also the combat patrols aren't necessarily thematic to the army. They're like the Dark Angels combat patrol is not a dark, like, it's a Space Marine box. It's not a Dark Angels box.
Yeah, and they're and this one that they balance things a little bit better. Like, they literally, like, their battle scrolls, which is like telling you the information about this model or this unit.
Right.
They're slightly different. Like, they're pared down a little bit.
Right.
Like, if there was a rule, like, they have like maybe they only have like one rule a piece on them. Whereas some of them would have like 2 or 3 rules on them. And they pare down, like, they give you some choices and things, like when you're building when you're like, for like, hey, you can give this guy this ability or this ability, or you can give the entire army this ability or this ability. Like, they just give you a few choices with it. But it plays really, really well, and it's on a very small, like, the big board the full size board that we play on is quarter of that.
Gotcha.
And just like 4 pieces of terrain, maybe 5 with this new, because I got the new set, which comes with a different board.
Which honestly, that terrain is gorgeous. I can't wait to see that on
some different terrain. It actually comes with like a couple of extra pieces of terrain that give you like special rules that you can use with them, and it gives you like, and then it gave 4 armies another spearhead. Which one of them is an army that I play, so I'm excited to play with that one. But it looks cool, and like the cards are different, so whichever side you play on gets a twist. So when you play this game, there's a different thing that happens. But then there's every round you flip and there's a twist, and there's basically a special rule that happens for that game, or a special way to score points or something like that. But then also the cards in your hand, the cards that each person starts with are different, because you start with the same cards, but like this set is different than the other set.
Right.
And that's really cool. I hope that they keep doing that, because it gives this much more variety, because it's like, okay, we've been playing, the first one was called Fire and Jade. We've been playing Fire and Jade for forever. This is getting old. Like, I know what all the cards do. Let's play now the new one. It's Sand and Bone. So now we have the objectives are different. There's some different rules with it. The twists are different. The cards in your hand are a little bit different. Like, they're not the exact same. Like, the cards that you have for commands or for scoring points are different than the other ones. So that's a really cool thing. I really want to start playing some more Spearhead. I would love to get up to playing like full size games, because I've forgotten most of the rules of 4th edition, to be quite honest. But I would like to like relearn some of these and get back into these. But yeah, I've definitely, like, I think you would be interested in
Probably.
And it's like and we all have like several spearheads, so like you would there's not even like any kind of money that you would have to put into it. It's just like, okay, I really like this spearhead that I played this one time, just give me that one.
Right.
So
that sounds fine.
Yeah.
There you go. That is pretty much me.
All right. Well, do we have any feedback?
We have no feedback this week, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being passengers on the bus this week. If you would like to leave feedback on this or any of our previous episodes, travelersontheomnibus at gmail.com. Again, that is travelers, 1L on the omnibus at gmail.com. Jody, is there another spot where they may connect with us?
That spot is Spotify.
There you go. Yes. Take part in any of our polls for this or any of our previous episodes that are still ongoing. And also leave a comment on this or any of our episodes that you have perused. Hopefully it'll be a good one. Might be a bad one. We may answer it. You never know.
That being said, the next part of this show will be based on a true story.
Okay. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to share this, if you'd like to share this experience with other people, we're available on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, YouTube Music through our YouTube channel, Travelers on the Omnibus, and iHeartRadio. What was that about, based on a true story?
The next part of this show will be based on a true story.
Okay.
I repeated it twice because it's sort of not based on a true story, but we'll get into that. There used to be a common theme with made-for-television movies. A lot of times, dramas especially, and they would use the term based on a true story. Now, you think about like, oh, based on a true story, so you would think like everything that happens in this movie or made-for-TV movie is accurate.
Yeah.
Where, in fact, the thin line of during the credits would see this is a dramatization loosely based on the true story of whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, there have been big Hollywood productions that have been based on true events that were over fictionalized, especially when it comes to the dramatization of character interactions or just wholly inaccuracies within the actual film as well. And we're going to be going over a lot of different ones, including probably some about specific, if not more than one serial killer. Historical movies, for sure, is also an easy target on these. So go around the table at first and see what everybody's got so far on this topic of based on true story, where it's not really mostly mostly not true.
In 1985, drug smugglers dropped off duffel bags of cocaine over the wilderness in Tennessee.
Yeah.
A bear found one of the bags and consumed a significant amount of the drug. The bear was later found dead in Georgia and was subsequently stuffed and displayed at a mall in Kentucky, which is the most Kentucky thing I think could have happened.
Yes.
The event inspired the 2023 film Cocaine Bear and the documentary Cocaine Bear: The True Story. I have to imagine the documentary is 2 minutes long and goes like this.
I will say for
A bear ate a large amount of cocaine and died. The end.
Yes. Yeah.
that's not what happened in the movie.
No,
That's not what happened in the movie. No.
Thankfully. Because there's no story in the original story.
Yeah.
really.
Cocaine is like a Monster Energy drink for bears.
Yeah, apparently.
And so
Good to give to kid bears as well.
Yes. Yeah, they love that cocaine.
Bet you didn't think bears could climb trees. You're wrong.
Yep. And then
Ray Liotta's last movie.
And then
Yeah.
Jesse Ferguson from Modern Family gets eaten.
Yeah, that movie was great.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
That's a movie you watch with friends.
Unlike some of the things we're going to be talking about,
but-
that movie was entertaining fully.
I wanted to lead off with
A good one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to
That
lead off
is a
with
good one to lead off with.
Yeah. But Cocaine Bear is based on a true story in that there was cocaine
And a bear. Yeah.
and a guy who went missing and is presumed dead jumping from an airplane that had cocaine on it.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Affleck's Pearl Harbor was based off of a true event.
Yes.
But
the Battle of Midway.
the Battle of Midway.
Yeah.
That movie is something else.
Yeah.
And it's
The actual
also
attack is pretty cool, but everything
That's
else
it.
around it sucks.
garbage. Yeah, absolute garbage.
Well, you have to feel for these people. How could you possibly have any empathy for people in a war?
I mean, it was basically he wanted to do Titanic.
It didn't work out.
It did
No,
not
it
work
didn't
out.
work out.
Speaking of Titanic.
Titanic.
Yeah. So there was this ship. It was called the Titanic.
Yeah.
It
And
crashed.
sank.
And because of an iceberg,
Yeah.
and everyone died. Not everyone, but
Most.
A lot of them died.
There was a lot of mortality on that ship.
There were a lot of women that made it off of the boat because they had a door to sleep on.
Yeah.
That was big enough for both of them.
The big one off of Titanic is the piece of shit crewman guy who was like holding people at gunpoint to keep them off of the boats.
Uh-huh.
Was like really shitty, and he killed one of Leonardo DiCaprio's friends, and then he killed himself. That dude was actually in real life a hero.
Oh.
Like he saved tons of extra people by doing. I can't remember everything that he did, but he did a whole bunch of shit. Like if you have like something open and might be wanting to talk about it. I'm sorry if I'm stepping over you.
No. Go
But,
for this.
um,
This is way more energy than I was willing to give.
I can't.
Go for it.
I can't remember if they either complained or they outright sued them because they're like, this is like disparaging his family.
Right.
Was like, this is like disparaging his like legacy when he was a fucking hero. Like
Right.
he saved so many fucking lives that wouldn't have otherwise been saved.
I think the true parts in Titanic was, of course, the sinking of it.
Yeah, it sank.
And there was a douchebag that, tried to make himself look like a woman to try and get onto one of the safety boats. That was actually true.
Yeah.
Everything else was pretty much
I think
Fugazi.
the way it sank was very accurate.
Yeah.
But I don't think they proved that until after the movie.
Well, yeah, right.
Like the way it broke in half, and the last half was something after that. They figured it out.
The
I
real
can't
story is
remember.
told in Titanic 2.
Yeah.
The boat knits back together.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there was Titanic 3 when those guys went down in a submarine.
There is a movie called Titanic 2.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I was why I mentioned
yeah.
Titanic 3 and
Gotcha.
then mentioned the recent submarine implosion.
Oh.
God, I hope we never have a.
Oh, there'll
they're
be a
gonna make one,
biopic
but
movie for
man,
that.
that's gonna suck. Because
Yep.
like, what interesting things.
I
to
hope
do
the
so.
director of Hundreds of Beavers does that movie.
I would watch a black and white slapstick version of that.
There is,
Because
okay,
after he gets crushed, like he's gonna meet a mermaid.
Yeah,
like, he's
for
gonna-
sure.
He's
Yeah.
gonna wake up and meet.
Oh,
a
then he'll
mermaid.
have sex with the mermaid like the lighthouse.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man, we could do a double the director of the lighthouse and the director of Hundreds of Beavers.
so
Yeah.
there's based on a true story, and there's implied of a true story.
Yeah, there's different levels of it.
I'll tell you, one of my, not my favorite movies, but one of my favorite examples of this is there was a movie and it starred, I cannot remember his name, but he was like, he was in Guardians as Bantu. He was in Walking Dead in the first couple seasons as Gerald Dixon's brother. Character actor.
Oh yeah,
Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker plays Henry. Now,
Portrait of a Serial Killer.
It's not Henry Lucas. It's not
Yeah.
Henry Lee Lucas or Henry Ray Lucas. However that goes, but it's perceived by the audience as, oh, this is based off of Henry Lucas, and it's not really. They just said Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, because that way they can make a movie sort of loosely based on him without getting sued by anybody attached to that, because they never really outright said it. It said based on a true story, but it didn't say what story it was based off of. And it was complete fugazi. It was just like about a guy who was murdering people. And there you go.
Most like found footage movies are like that. Starting like the big one is, of course, is Blair Witch Project, which was absolutely nowhere near real.
That was a marketing scam, and a marketing tactic, and it worked.
They fucked over the actors because they weren't allowed to come to any like the premiere or anything. So
they were on talk shows like months later.
And by then like it kind of died down. So they didn't get any like extra work, even though the part that everybody knows where the girl is like really close to the camera, that's all her. Like that wasn't in the script.
Right.
She was just like, hey, I'm gonna go over here and shoot something, and they were like, oh, this is really good, let's put it in the movie.
They were free to do whatever because it was filmed mostly on video camera, and there was
they just told them where to go, and then they harassed them at night when they tried to sleep.
They shot that movie for $50,000, and that movie made a lot of money compared to that. So Brady, what you got?
All right. We're kind of staying. Okay. So, a while back, there was a movie called Argo, which I will admit is a very good movie. Not very accurate at all. It's about, there are some, people who worked at the U.S. Embassy at the time of the Iranian Revolution, and were trapped there. Well, they escaped from the embassy, and there were people in the embassy still that were taken hostage. They escaped to the Canadian embassy, and they kind of hid there, and it was the plot to kind of get them out. And if you watch the movie and go by what the movie says, it was all the CIA's doing, and it was all the main character Tony Mendez's. He came up with everything, and he did everything, and the CIA in the United States was completely and totally responsible for getting these people home. And all the Canadians did was just kind of like be stewards of them for a little while. That's a lie. Like 90% of the operation was on the Canada side. The Canadian people, and especially the did I write that down? Ambassador, whose last name is Taylor, his role was like severely minimized in the movie to make it look like the Canadians barely did anything when they did like 90% of the work in the operation to get the people home.
Right.
So yeah, this is the movie kind of just like really jerks off the CIA when that's not who you need to be jerking off. That's bad.
Definitely not.
But yeah, Canada was actually the heroes of that story. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Cool movie. And there's a part at the end where like they're getting on they're on the plane, but like some people find the Iranian people like who are in charge of that stuff like find out that they're not supposed to be on the plane, and they kind of chase down the plane, and they barely miss the plane. That didn't happen. Once they like went through, once they were like going through with the plan, like it went off pretty much without a hitch. There was no like major stuff. That was all for tension, but that's part of it. Like sometimes the movie you have in a movie or a TV show or anything like that about true stuff, you have to like add little things here and there because true life sometimes is boring as shit.
Right.
But yeah, good movie, but really, really overinflates what what actually happened and who had what role to play. Yeah.
Jay, give us one.
So I'm going with Spielberg. Not that one, though. And we're not going to be talking about Schindler's List. We're going to be talking about a more contemporary movie just about 20 years ago, and that is Munich. So Munich. So in the wake,
that's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
In the wake of the death of 11 Israeli Olympic athletes during the 72 Olympics, there was a plot by the Israeli government to basically enact revenge, and you have a fantastically casted movie. Eric Bana, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember
James
anybody.
Bond, James Bond, Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in that.
Yeah,
shit.
he was the driver. Yeah.
I need to rewatch that movie.
But by all intents and purposes, the movie is sometimes called a gross distortion of the facts of what actually happened in there.
Right.
This is to me where it's the message desired by the movie takes place over the actual historical accounting,
Right.
if there is one to be had.
Right, of course.
Spielberg said that this was a letter for peace. The fact that as they're going about these killings, it's like they're questioning the morality. It's like, effectively the old adage, eye for an eye leaves the entire world blind.
Right.
And it's kind of a consideration on that.
Yeah.
And I think in any other director's hands, maybe with some exceptions, but I think in any other director's hands, you just have a straight like spy killer assassin movie.
That's what you get with Sword of Gideon, which is based off the same story.
Yeah.
I think it was made by HBO, but I think it might have been in theaters, but yeah, it's the same story, and it's pretty much like a straightforward like spy thing where they're like rigging the phone and shit like that. It's been a long time since I've seen Sword of Gideon, but
I do think there are a few directors that could have also had the same message. But I think with Spielberg in particular, like he's like this killing is pointless. It's for vendettas and grudges that have existed for so long. We forgot the reason why they began in the first place. Even though we have a lot of historical documents as to why,
right?
But it's still a matter of like we should come out of this. There's no reason to be slaughtering one another. So so I think that, but I think you with a lot of based on true stories, there is a theme and message that either the writer wants to get out, or once the director has that script in his hand, is what they want to like portray in the scenes there. And so I think. And whether or not the theme that is being portrayed is actually more true to the story than what is actually written on the page. And I think that's some things that we sometimes consider, because we've mentioned a lot just of like, oh, they took this story and they embellished it and they presented, here you go. Whereas I think sometimes you can have that stories and what we should learn out of that story resonate more with some, for lack of better terms, changes in the actual historical record.
Yeah, and that really reflects in a different way, and not as that, because that story is like not partially, but I mean like based off of some real events that happened, some very horrible things. Young Guns did the exact same thing with like as far as like taking something that didn't really happen. And kind of like taking like, oh, you're a big fan of Westerns and you're a writer. I'm going to take Billy the Kid and some of these other gunslingers that were, trained robbers and things like that and murderers, and put them in a group together and make a fun like action movie and call it Young Guns. The movie starts with a elderly Billy the Kid, played by Emilio Estevez, which we don't know who he is yet. Talking to an old man, not an old man, but a man with a recorder. He's he's claiming he has stories about Billy the Kid, and you're basically the whole movie's a flashback. And the movie's really good. Like I really enjoyed it. But the thing is that at the time when I saw it, I was mad the whole time, because at the time I was like a big Western buff, and I was like, fuck this movie, like none of this happened, like literally none of this happened. And so and also there was like no way for anybody to know if this did happen, like in the details that they were trying to promote that didn't happen. This was a time period, this is the early 90s, it's like 93 or something, 92, 93, where there was a series of Time Life books about the West, and there was their Time Life books were crazy all over the place. Like they did one for serial killers, they did westerns, they did aliens, they did all that shit. But there was a series Western like culture was very popular in media. We get Tombstone a couple years later on down the road. But Young Guns was so good. This was
kind of like the revival of Westerns because they've been dead.
Young Guns was a really good movie, but it's completely historically inaccurate. To the point of where there's a shootout that happens where like everybody in this gang dies. But you know, he's at the end of the movie as an old man. For some reason, even more absurd than the historical inaccuracy of Young Guns is the fact that they had a sequel to it.
Oh yeah, they did.
Which tells you nothing about, like, okay, so none of it's more flashbacks, you know, and more historical inaccuracies with characters. Let's just have this old Western, like, you know, known character to intermingle with all these other characters, including Billy the Kid, who never had any interaction with whatsoever. I mean, I could tell you Quick and the Dead was more of a representation of historical accuracy as far as Westerns go, and it's just a spaghetti Western.
They did that later on, which now that I'm thinking about it, could have been you know, inspired by Young Guns with a movie a few years ago. I think it was might have been 2020, 2021, called The Harder They Fall. And it was basically like every black, like well-known person from the wild, every black, you know, lawman or outlaw or anything like
exist.
that.
Yeah.
Let's all just smash them together and have a whole thing where you got the good guy with his crew of all these well-known, you know, black people from the Wild West,
right?
And you got the bad guy, you know, with his crew of all the people from the Wild West, and it's a really good movie. Unfortunately, you got to deal with Jonathan Majors starring in it, but everybody else is great in it.
They did that in the 90s too. After Young Guns, there was a Mario Van Peebles movie.
That sounds like a Mario Van Peebles thing.
Posse.
Yeah.
It was called.
I have heard of Posse.
Yeah.
Have I watched Posse? I can't remember if I've watched that or not.
Also, same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they just crammed a bunch of characters together which is
really fucking good.
It's good. It's a good thing. You know,
you get some really good actors and just have them have like an ensemble thing. Like
you're entertained, but none of that really happened.
Yeah.
So what you got next, Brady? What you got?
Let's do so a few years ago, a movie from India took the world by storm. And mostly because most people don't watch Indian cinema, so they were blown away.
It won the Academy Award, didn't it?
Possibly. I cannot remember. Possibly.
I'm looking it up now. Yeah. Continue.
It's a movie called RRR.
Yep.
What does RRR stand for? Nothing really. It's a different thing no matter in any language.
I thought we were talking about a completely different movie.
Which one are you thinking about?
I was thinking Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that one.
Yeah. That one is based off a true story.
Yes.
That's the reason why I
that one did. That one won Best Picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was a little thrown off. I couldn't remember. Yes, it won Best Picture that year.
I will continue.
I'm 95% certain. So, RRR kind of took the world by storm because it's batshit crazy. And it's mostly because people have never like watched Indian cinema, so they didn't know like what the fuck they do. And Indian cinema is batshit crazy. And it's super loosely based on two revolutionaries who existed during the colonial British times. If I butcher these names, forgive me. Komaram Beam and Alluri Sitrama Raju. These were two revolutionaries who actually existed at the same time, but the movie. So in history, they were in the same area for a very short amount of time. Now there's no proof that they ever even met each other, but they go, "Hey, what?" But the movie goes, "Hey, what if they met each other and they became best buds?" So they have these two guys who meet up, who are revolutionaries, and it's against like the British colonial system, and and that's it. That's all that they take from history. Everything else, one guy, you got one guy like catching tigers in the jungle. You got one guy who starts off as like a cop, and he's like literally, and he like jumps over a fence. There's like an unruly crowd, and he jumps over a fence, and he has like his baton in his hand, and he's just like hitting people and knocking them like 30 feet. That never really happened. There's like dance offs.
We gotta have that in an Indian.
Like one guy, like at one point, I feel like the dude controls animals, but it's in completely an imaginary friendship. They were just like, hey, in history, these two were in the same area, generally speaking, at one time for like a month. What if they met and became best buds?
Man,
it's an insane movie.
It's the young Einstein. Not young Frankenstein, young Einstein approach to. Do you know what young Einstein is?
That sounds familiar.
It's Yahoo Serious. It's
okay.
where he plays Albert Einstein. You know Albert Einstein from Tasmania.
Yeah.
Who invented the electric guitar?
Yeah.
And the atomic bomb? Not the formula, the actual atomic bomb. And used his electric guitar to diffuse the atomic energy that was
yeah, sometimes it's very obvious.
Is he in Damn Yankees? Because that's like the physics defying guitar work.
It's pretty wild. Jay, what you got?
So there's this movie. Oh, real quick. Slumdog Millionaire was not based off a true story. It was based off of a novel.
Oh, okay.
So I want to apologize right there. Get that out there.
Well, that's a good thing that I didn't put that one down.
There you go. That would have been bad.
Once you brought it up, I was like, yeah, was supposedly.
It really felt like it was based off of a thing that happened, but okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but this movie, 1991, Oliver Stone.
Oh.
It's three letters.
Yeah.
JFK.
Right.
This is Oliver Stone it all over the place.
There you go. I had forgotten that Gary Oldman played Lee Harvey Oswald.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Who played Jack Ruby?
Jack Ruby was played by Jack Ruby. They dug him up in the
Oh, man.
There you go. No. So how best to put this without, fuck it. If you like to rub shit in your hair and spout out things, JFK is the movie for you. Clocking in at almost 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
It is a look at the conspiracy behind the John F. Kennedy assassination.
This is a movie that is a movie that is not a war movie that absolutely tells you that Oliver Stone went to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like you watch that movie and you're like,
for sure.
This director definitely saw some shit in Vietnam.
Sure.
Yes. Oh yeah, he saw some shit and was wishing that Kennedy had lived so he could have never seen the shit.
I think this movie like really amped up like the conspiracy theories.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Because until 9/11, I hate saying it like that.
Yeah.
9/11 was not an inside job.
Right.
Put me on report with that. So there we go there. But yeah, before the conspiracies of 9/11, this was the conspiracy du jour of all Americans. That there was something more to the Kennedy assassination.
Sure.
And while I will, and for his history reasons, because as a child I grew up with this conspiracy. For history reasons, I will allow for maybe there was a little bit something more.
Yeah, sure.
But the years go by, and the more they kind of look at the same evidence, it's like, he wanted to fucking be somebody.
Yeah.
And so the best way he could go about doing it was killing the most powerful man in the world.
Do you want to hear the conspiracy theory that is the only one that I feel holds any type of water whatsoever?
Go for it.
One, Lee Harvey Oswald actually shot Kennedy.
Yeah.
Once. And then the Secret Service agent that jumped on the car after he was shot accidentally shot him the other time, which actually killed him. And they kind of swept that under the rug because we don't want our Secret Service people being like, oh, they're the ones who actually killed the president.
Yeah.
that looks bad. That's the only one, and I'm not even saying that's true.
Like,
it's like of all of the conspiracy theories around that, that's the only one where I'm like, well, yes, that one actually, if that one turns out to be true, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Any other one, I'm like, okay, this is bullshit.
I have gone from when I was a child to now as a full-grown adult. I have gone a complete 180 where my belief is Lee Harvey Oswald, alone and unaided, shot 3 times from that fucking window and killed the president of the United States because people were too lax in the protection that did not read the room when where they were going.
Right.
And a whole bunch of mistakes happened that allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
It in my head, like, to plot all of that out and like to leave all these quote unquote threads around when there's all these, it was the mafia, it was the CIA, it was the KGB, it was fucking Moscow. It's all these other things.
Yeah.
No, he did it alone and unaided. Jack Ruby killing him. Who knows on that one? That's another one where I'll leave the door open on. Present me something that seems reasonable, and maybe I'll walk with you. But for right now, no. I think they underestimate the time he had to shoot at him. I think there was way more time for him to do that. So yeah, that's just
like I said, the one that I mentioned is the only one that I feel you could even possibly hold.
Speaking of
that, besides what you said, that's the only other thing to me that like that could make sense.
Speaking of Ruby, they made a movie about him too called Ruby, and I don't remember if that was before or after JFK, but it starred John Goodman as Ruby, as Jack Ruby.
When we would play, when we would have our little LAN parties for Halo 2, I would always name my guy Jack Ruby.
Nice.
You were in on it.
That was one of the caught on TV assassinations when Jack Ruby shot Lee Harvey Oswald because it was on camera.
Yeah,
that it happened.
I've spent most of my time shitting on JFK. Let me at least give one positive for this, and just to celebrate the absolute brilliance of Donald Sutherland. His sitting on the bench with Costner. And him like these are things that happened. It is the charisma and power behind Donald Sutherland's voice that absolutely drives that scene and drives it to me in a good direction to where it's like, okay, this sounds believable. Like even as an adult today, like because when we were going through this, JFK was one of the first things that came to my head, and so like I look back at scenes on that, and particularly just that scene with Donald Sutherland at the in Washington D.C. where he's just like laying out all these like. Why do this? Why do this? Why do this? And it's like, okay, that's painting a picture for a movie, but not for reality for me. But so that's where the disconnect there. But Donald Sutherland was just such an amazing actor. Like, so, and I'll give him credit to that. But yeah, what was really going on there? Like, it's based off of Jim Garrison, the district attorney for New Orleans, who there may have been. He was looking for mafia ties, and of course, the mafia in New Orleans doesn't get talked about as much as say New York and the East Coast. But there was a strong mafia presence in New Orleans as well, and him looking into that and looking into the mafia, like and how they acted there, and if there was some connection to that to the JFK murder. So that's where the historical hooks are there. But it's dramatized to the point of hyperbole.
Oh yeah.
Another movie and. Also, stage production that dramatizes the historical inaccuracies of something very similar is Abita.
Okay. Yeah.
In the movie, she meets with Che Guevara. Never happened.
Yeah.
It's implied. They never say his last name, but come on.
Yeah.
We know what you're doing.
I've seen Benicio del Toro before.
I've seen that beret before.
Also betrayed her as like a powerful person. Also not really.
I apologize. This just shot into my head. So there's a video game called Planet Side 2, and you can customize your people, but armies are the only ones that are allowed to wear berets, not rebels. The developer said only standing armies wear berets. Motherfucker Che Guevara would like to speak with you from beyond the grave.
Yes.
That is crazy.
But yes, the movie kind of like not only was inaccurate to her, as a person, and of course she did like the people, but she didn't have the amount of power that is portrayed as Madonna's version of the character in the movie. She was more of a figurehead used by the Argentinian government to try and get a message across. It's crazy because they took out historical significant things that happened during her time to make a quote unquote better, more entertaining movie as well, trimming down certain political things that happened behind the scenes and stuff like that. So that's another movie that's, overly the ongoing theme of based on a true story or loosely based on a true story is the removal of historical accuracies for dramatization to make for more entertaining production.
Well, you slap based on a true story or inspired by a true story. You slap true story on a TV show, a book, a movie, anything, and it tends to sell a little bit better because we as a society are stupid, so we see based on a true story and we think, oh, this is 100% real.
Right.
So we're more interested in it, and it's just one of those things that fucking happen with us as a society.
They like to take liberties with that, and hear me out. The two fellows in here know my stance on different religious belief structures and things of that nature, and dogmatic law and all that. But I will say that if you are going to make a biblical movie and you want to make it entertaining, you kind of want to like go the route of like, the old like 60s movies, man, because like 10 Commandments is a good movie. Yeah. And it's based off of biblical canon.
It's a fun movie to watch. Charlton Heston's great. Yeah.
But what's not fun to watch is, if you like watching things ironically, if you know the actual lore and canon of something, and that is when, angelic elementals help you build the ark and Noah. So not
using the element Angelica.
I never watched that movie, but I did watch the.
I watched that scene.
It was like a made for TV miniseries of Noah. And Noah was fuck.
Was that the one with Ben Kingsley, or that was Moses?
No,
that's Moses.
Moses one. Okay,
no. So
Holy Moses.
That was the one where Noah was played by Angelina Jolie's dad.
Jon Voight.
Jon Voight was Noah.
Midnight Cowboy was Noah.
And they merged, like Noah in this was also like his best friend was Lot from and Lot is so in the movie.
Please tell me Lot was trained by Gilgamesh.
So it's Noah and Lot at first, and they do the Lot thing where they have to leave and his wife looks back and everything.
And she turns into a pillar of salt.
Then when
Noah was in Sodom.
Then when the flood happens, there's Noah on the boat, but then there are some survivors who are on rafts, and they basically like pirates attack the ark.
I need to see this
with Lot as the beginning, and then there's like parts where like Noah is going crazy because he's talking to God and nobody can hear it.
Right,
and like he's dancing. And his wife is literally like, if you can only hear something, if it's only something that you can hear, then you look crazy to everybody. It was a batshit insane, and I watched this when I was religious, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
I didn't
even cuss with like that back then, but I was like, what is this? This is insane.
I need this in my life.
I don't even know what it was. I might have just been called Noah, but it was absolutely insane. And of course, the shit's not accurate. Like you can't say it's like accurate or anything like that, but the liberties that they take from just the Bible is insane. In that movie.
Noah's Ark 1999 miniseries.
Yeah, I think Lot was Armand Asante.
It has
please.
It has a 3.7 rating.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a fucking stroke.
It's
if you
on
continue.
Tubi.
Of course
Hell
it is.
yeah.
Of course, Tubi, thank you again. But of course
Hell
it's on
yeah.
Oh my god.
Tubi.
You couldn't pay me to watch that shit
Hold
again.
on. I gotta look up something real quick. I mean, hold on. We've touched on something.
Jay, don't cut this part, but trim where you need
This
to.
this film is a fictional adaptation of Noah's Ark from the Book of Genesis. It was initially televised in the United States, but was also in Canada, Germany, and Portugal for some reason. Oh my god! Okay, so starring John Voight, Mary Steenburgen, Carol Kane. I'm seeing James Coburn.
That good. Was this just old actor fucking reunion?
Directed by John Irvin.
Okay.
That name sounds familiar.
Hold on. Where is this at? Oh, man. Okay. All right. The film portrays Noah as a resident of Sodom who's fighting against his equally wicked neighbor Gomorrah and vice versa simply for the amusement of the residents. During the fight, Lot, Noah's friend, is injured in the fight and comes to Noah for help. At the end of the fight, the leader of Gomorrah is killed with his head chopped off and put on a stake. As Sodom claims victory the next day, Noah's sons excitedly ask their father if he took part directly in the deadly fight.
Armand Asante wasn't Lot. F. Murray Abraham was Lot.
How? I have to ask you. On one hand, F. Murray Abraham, and on the other,
Emily Mortimer is in this.
God then asks Noah to go to Mount Tubok, where God reveals the wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah. And after Noah fails to find 10 righteous people, other than Lot and his wife, who looks back at it, oh my God. What the 10 years later, what?
Yeah.
Noah
It's like two parts. Like he doesn't even like the flood doesn't even happen until like the second.
Oh my
part.
God. What the fuck is happening here?
So apparently Emily Mortimer plays Esther. I don't know if it's that Esther or not.
Right.
This other lady plays Ruth. I don't know if it's that Ruth or not. If they just threw all of this together.
What is happening? Wow.
I apologize. I zoned out there. What were we talking about?
Biblical canon. Apparently, like Noah and Lot were friends.
Noah was in Sodom. How did I guess he was in Sodom and not Gomorrah? I don't know. I don't know.
How?
I don't fucking know. They went crazy. My religious parents were like, "What is this?" But what's funny is like they were insulted the whole time because it doesn't even halfway. I think if you just know the story of Noah and it's like, hey, that's a fun story, you're like, what the hell is this? Even if you're not religious.
Well,
but they didn't stop watching is the funny thing.
Because that's a train wreck.
Yeah.
Because it's like
they literally like have rafts and they attack the ark in when they after the flood.
In biblical canon, there has to be like 500 to 1,000 years after the flood where Lot happens.
Oh yeah.
Like that's fucking insane.
Lot's with Abraham, Lot's not with Noah.
Yeah. There's a big dip. There's a big time
it's
gap.
A very long time.
There's a big time gap.
A very long time.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
I prefer to talk about something a little bit more uplifting, like
sure.
Ed Gein.
Can
we talk about Ed Gein?
All right.
Do you have some stuff?
No, I've got. We can move into like horror. I've got some horror ones.
Go for
Let's
it.
do some horror ones first.
So before we finish on old Ed there.
Yeah.
E.G. I call him.
The Lamp Man.
So I want to talk about there was a couple that is connected to a several series of movies and several just movies that were standalone by themselves.
Do they do exorcisms not authorized by the Catholic Church?
Well, they say they do. And that is one, Ed and Lorraine Warren. You might, if they sound familiar, the most recent thing that you know is the 18 movies that are in the Conjuring series, the Conjuring multiverse.
Don't forget the 12 movies that are in the Amityville horror universe.
So there's like 40.
There's 12 that I'm willing to accept,
No,
and
there's
the other 28 are just there.
There's like 40 in the Amityville horror series.
There's a lot.
There's also The Haunting in Connecticut.
I love the second movie, Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghosts of Georgia.
Yeah, they weren't part of that one, but
You know what was also apparently not a part of it? Connecticut.
yeah. So for those who aren't familiar with them, Ed and Lorraine Warren were psychics who would go around, who according to legend would go around and would like get rid of ghosts and demons and shit and do exorcisms. They were none of this. They were frauds. They were grifters.
Jesus Christ!
They were con men.
Allegedly.
No. They're dead. We can say this, and it has been proved that they are.
Their estate could come after us.
No,
their ghosts could come out. Wouldn't that be
I believe they've been adjudicated to be fucking frauds. They were frauds. In fact, like The Haunting in Connecticut, the only connections they have to that one is one of the people who was trying to do the exorcism or whatever or deal with it. They called them and they said, "Hey, you can make money off of this story," and that was their only connection to this. But yeah, they would show up and lie about a place and do fake exorcisms and shit like that. The real Annabelle doll was a Raggedy Ann doll that the only people who ever reported anything weird happening with it were Ed and Lorraine Warren. They were pieces of shit. Fuck them. They're dead. No, they were terrible people. Like they were grifters.
You were on a tilt, man.
Which leads me to basically every exorcism movie that says it was based off a real story.
Sure.
This includes The Exorcist, which is based off a book, which was based off a supposedly real story of an exorcism. The Exorcism of Emily Rose was a really big one.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah.
That movie is a courtroom procedural.
Yeah.
Which
They don't tell you, which is very funny. But basically every exorcism movie that says it was based off a real story is basically just about some old dude just abusing the shit out of someone, usually a young woman who either had epilepsy or some kind of psychosis.
My apologies for interrupting. When you asked the question, were Ed and Lorraine Warren the real deal? Mounting evidence suggests the couple may have embellished the truth for personal gain. that is the nice way of what you were saying.
Yeah. Like the one that just came out with one of the two exorcism movies that just came out starring Russell Crowe. The Pope's Exorcist was about the dude who reported to have like several hundred exorcisms in his lifetime, which just meant that there was like several hundred people that he basically abused the shit out of. The Exorcism of Emily Rose is specifically bad because this is a girl who was diagnosed with like schizophrenia, I believe, and some type of epilepsy.
Yeah.
And she died of malnutrition and dehydration because her religious parents kept saying that no, what she needs is an exorcism, and they kept performing exorcisms on her instead of giving her water. So yeah. Any exorcism movie that you say is based off a true story just meant that like somebody in real life got abused for this story to happen. Sorry to bring it down, but that's
Let me bring it up a little bit before we go into the Geen
of it all.
Yeah. There's also like a wedge of this falls into the implied because there's literally no way of knowing any of this ever happened, and that is movies like 10,000 Years BC.
Oh yeah.
The one I watched recently, Alpha. No, Prehistoric Man.
Clan of the Cave Bear.
Yeah, Clan of the Cave Bear. Prehistoric Quest for Fire. These are all implied.
Year One.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jack Black and Michael Cera.
Where they're cavemen, but then they run into biblical times.
Yeah. Well, it's cavemen over here.
Right.
Because that's how geography works.
The Ringo Starr movie, Caveman. All of those movies, some of them are entertaining, but none of them are historically accurate because there's no way you could know exactly the day-to-day life outside of hunting and eating.
Yeah.
What these
They hunted
prehistoric
and they gathered.
Yes, they hunted and before they gathered, they hunted only. And then they discovered a fire. I think it was Clan of the Cave Bear, where no, it was Quest for Fire. It's Quest for Fire. When the tribe of Neanderthals are looking for fire because their fire went out. This is before they could figure out how to make fire, and they find another tribe of Cro-Magnon or Homo sapiens, right? And they're sitting there, and they find they had some raw meat, and they started like taking the meat and they were eating it, and then the Homo sapiens just look at them, and the Neanderthals are thinking they're going to get punished or whatever because they're like freaking out because they don't know who these people are, and they just they gently take the meat out of their hand and put it on the fire and go like with a hand, wait, and then they have cooked meat for the first time. None of those movies are accurate. None of that happened. Neanderthals, Cro-Magnon, early Homo sapiens did not make friends with dogs and have a parasocial relationship with animals. That didn't really start until Egyptian times, I don't think. So maybe a little bit.
I don't know.
That.
I would have to look into that.
I would have to look into that.
I know,
too.
like Neanderthals and Homo sapiens did like commingle because that's how
that's true.
Neanderthals died out. Is we interbred with them until like they weren't a thing anymore.
Breed them out, just like the English king said in Braveheart, another historically inaccurate movie.
Yeah, we could do a whole thing on just like Mel Gibson led
Apocalyptico.
Movies. Yeah. Apocalyptico, the big one of that one was I believe that one was Mayans, but it was Aztecs who were actually like did mostly sacrificing.
Yeah.
Mayans did a little bit of sacrificing, but Aztecs were the ones who are really like
hardcore.
Hey, we love fucking sacrificing people.
Yeah, for sure.
Still a good movie, even regardless of the Mel Gibson of it all.
Yeah, of course. That's usually how that goes.
Yeah, but there's like Braveheart, Patriot.
Right. Oh yeah, Patriot.
Like those are so inaccurate.
Yeah, for sure.
Jesus Christ. But
there's Kevin Costner's The Postman. That's probably
that's post-apocalyptic.
That's right. That's right. I mean, it could be based on a true story soon. Who knows?
You're thinking of Dances with Wolves?
I'm thinking of Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, you got the Postman and Dances. That is very funny.
I got my Kevin Costner movies mixed up. Jay's having an aneurysm.
I want to say though the like the buffalo hunt part of Dances with Wolves was fairly accurate.
That's probably it.
I could be wrong.
All right,
I could be wrong.
One of the things going through all this, and just I didn't look up Dances with Wolves, but it kind of a lot of these go fucking long.
Yeah,
like
they
JFK
do.
was 3.5 hours.
They do.
Dances with Wolves.
Oh yeah,
long.
Yeah.
If it's a historical movie, there's the historical epic where we want to be.
Before we go to Geen, what do you prefer with your quote unquote based on? Do you prefer a based on a true story on a person, or do you prefer based on a true story off of a historical event? What do you feel you gravitate towards?
I like historical event better because of a person. It's usually like biopics have gotten like really boring to me. You have to do something interesting with it. Especially when it comes to like something like a musical biopic. Like I don't want to watch that shit usually.
There's also like, for example, like Last Samurai is based off of a person and a historical event that's also fictional.
Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite movie of this century so far is The Social Network, and that is a
really good one.
And that to me is, it's not even like, it doesn't take enough time to base off of anything. Like you don't get enough of Jesse Eisenberg to get an idea of what the Mark Zuckerberg was like. It's more about everybody involved in that, but it's not really also a historical event. It's just kind of capturing the time.
Yeah, the problem with that one is it made Mark Zuckerberg seem like he was a cool guy.
Yeah,
when he was
No.
Comparably.
What,
He was like a clever, cool guy in that movie.
What? Well, no. He honestly, he basically steals the algorithm from Facebook from a buddy of his.
He's a piece of shit in the movie. I'm not saying that he's like a cool good guy.
Yeah.
He's a cool piece of shit, but he's like quippy and shit like that. And we obviously know that. Have we watched the same movie?
We've watched the same
Most
movie.
people that I know, like when you hear people talk about that movie, it's because, it made him seem like a cool dude when he's really like a fucking robot.
I never took from that movie that Mark Zuckerberg was cool. I always took that Mark Zuckerberg was an asshole. Now he's a cool asshole. See, I don't know. I never get cool from that. Like that's
crazy.
The awkwardness in the in the sex scene that happens in the toilets. There's that. Like none of that ever screamed cool to me. Andrew Garfield's character seemed cool to me. He also always seemed over his head, which with what happens in there makes perfect sense. But I never took like Jesse Eisenberg, I think, does the best performance in that movie. But I never took Mark Zuckerberg as being cool in that movie.
Well, I will say, like,
never. I was never like go Zuck. No, I was always like.
I think what Brady. Let me just say this. This is what I'm picking up off of Brady, and I kind of agree with him. He didn't seem like a robotic lizard in the movie. Like, he doesn't have a real personality in real life at all. No personality. Not an asshole, not a good guy, not nothing. Zero. The man can't drink water in a courtroom.
Yeah.
He's just fucking weird. Not awkward, just weird.
Yeah.
But there was one other one, like, that's your favorite. One of my favorites is actually a made-for-TV movie based off of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. It's Pirates of Silicon Valley. I love that movie.
Yeah, which based off the novel of the same name.
Which is like we're like one group of people steal one thing from another group of people that steal it from another group of people.
Yeah.
Noah Wiley, Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Steve Ballmer, who is the glue because he breaks the fourth wall consistently
for sure.
To make you understand this is the significance.
I think that's the best, like, of course, dramatization thing based off of that event that happened.
Yeah.
Entertaining to me.
I think the problem with like most like movies that are based off a true story that focus on just one person is they will oftentimes, especially if it's like a historical figure or something like that, they will oftentimes like streamline things and make it look like, it was all this one person.
Right.
They did everything, when it's like, not really. Like, there were tons of people like working and doing things and also, in charge, which is really weird because like one of the best movies I think in the last few years is Oppenheimer. Like, it was really fucking good. But I think that they did a decent job of like showing that like he was kind of the thing that kept the wheels turning, but he wasn't like the only person like contributing and everything like that.
Yeah, the Steve Jobs movie wasn't good at all. Yeah, in my personal opinion.
Which one? There was two of them.
Well,
there's the Ashton Kutcher Steve Jobs movie, and
not
there
that
is
one.
the.
But I think that one is more about like his entire life.
I haven't seen that one.
And then like the one with Michael Fassbender was just about the launch of the
iPad, iPhone.
I think
it was
Apple
one of the
II?
Mac.
No, it goes
Macintosh.
No, because they're talking about the iPod there at the very end, because that
it was the launch
really
of
good.
like one specific product going.
And the guy
into
who played Wozniak, fucking goddamn it, Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
Seth Rogen has some chops.
He does. He does.
That movie kind of proved it.
He does.
But yeah.
So in the 50s, there was a guy. He was a guy that lived on a farm. When he was younger, which makes it even weirder when you think about it, because like he was in his 30s or 40s in the 50s. So we're talking like in the early 1900s or whatever, when he was a kid and his mom made him dress up in women's clothes, and this kind of fucked him up a little bit, and he was probably already mentally disturbed anyway, and so. His parents eventually, go the way of life and death by death. And, I guess maybe one day a woman's trying to sell him a vacuum cleaner, and he just decides to use her as a lampshade. And that is Ed Gein. I don't know how many years Ed went on his little rampage of murder, but it was for a while.
They well, the funny thing about him is that he only ever confessed, and they can only fully tie him to 2 murders.
But there were so many bones in his house
because he also grave robbed. Like that was a big part of what he did was he grave robbed. Now, maybe the lampshade human skin might have actually been from somebody that he killed. Like he is known as a suspected serial killer, but we only ever know that he killed two people. He did a lot of grave robbing. Because they found like bowls made of human skulls.
Oh yeah.
He like put skulls on the staircase, the little knob thing on the staircase, and the bedpost, I think he had a skull on it. Bunch of crazy shit. I think he had a chair that had some bones made of it or something like that.
It's really macabre, and it just kind of shows you that like even in the 50s, like you had like dementia, like. And what's crazy about this, Gein's from Wisconsin, and he's not even Wisconsin's biggest serial killer. That goes to Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right.
But it just, and like the progression of just madness and evil, not just specifically to Wisconsin. That was just kind of a point. Just point out. That's a unique
Wisconsin,
point in time.
you can say that.
No, they have cheese. Shut up.
Yeah, Gein's real life story inspired Alfred Hitchcock to make Psycho.
Yep.
Well, Robert Bloch is writing the story of Psycho.
Yeah.
And then the information of Ed Gein comes out. Bloch lived 35 miles away from where Ed Gein lived.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's a kind of a weird twist thing there, but it's certainly with the headlines of Gein being out there. I'm sure that twisted the story towards what Hitchcock would tell in there.
Right, for sure. Which was, just the, one small fragment. Yeah,
you took a piece because oftentimes what they'll do with like serial killers and things like that is make the serial killer like very smart or charismatic or something like that. And Ed Gein was absolutely not that. Most serial killers are not that. I think Ted Bundy is about the only one who was like actually like charismatic.
I think Ramirez was also
the Night Stalker. No, he was handsome.
Gotcha.
So
gotcha.
A lot of women when he was on trial.
Right.
Maybe men too. I don't know about that.
Right, sure.
But really wanted to fuck him.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But he was also like a gross weirdo from what I remember. I watched a documentary a while back. There's a really good documentary on Netflix about him. But yeah, he was like a super awkward weirdo. He was just handsome.
I watched that movie that was like that had what's her name in it from Perfect Pitch, the girl who sang the Cup song.
Anna Kendrick?
Yeah. The dating show.
She directed that as well. I've been meaning to watch that. Is that good?
It is.
I've been meaning to watch that.
Yeah, but
because there was actually a serial killer on the dating
match
game.
Match
game.
Yeah,
and
Rodney Alcala.
Yeah,
and he won, but they didn't go out on a date
because she got bad vibes from him. Good job, man.
Yeah, the movie's really good. And the tone is very disturbing.
That's
good. But yeah, like the other big one, besides Psycho, it's Framed.
There were three.
Three, sir.
Right.
Yeah, but 15 years later.
Yeah,
let's move south.
It's framed as based on the story, kind of. Like
this is one of the big ones that jumps out as you that took advantage of this because they were just like they plastered based on a true story on this one all over the fucking place.
And they did some fake headlines at the beginning of the thing, which inspired Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects, things like that. But it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
This is also based on Ed Gein.
Right.
Instead of one killer, you have a crazy family, which maybe Gein's family was crazy.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why. You have
which these people were probably the closest to Gein as like
As far as madness and weird,
as far as
yeah.
like just weird people.
I think a
and
lot
awkward.
That's
of
100% there.
legendary stories probably started popping up of people like elaborating on things that
Yeah.
didn't happen. Like there was if you read any of the Time Life books or anything like
Yeah.
that, like I mentioned earlier, there was a rumor, and it's just a rumor of like, oh, he would wear the faces. Nobody saw that shit.
Yeah.
Nobody saw any of that. So,
But they did take the grave robbing thing because that's what that's the inciting incident in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is that people have been robbing graves in the area. So they go so the girl goes down there with her friends to check it out because she's afraid that her grandparent or like her grandfather's grave has been desecrated.
That movie is just despair.
Yeah.
Just full of
And
despair
disgust.
and
Like,
disgust and things getting shot in the dark and final girls getting really pissed off at the one guy left.
Yeah.
That's being really obnoxious.
Mark Borchardt in the movie American Movie said
I
that
need to watch that.
that it's a great fucking movie. But he said that Texas Chainsaw Massacre looks like a film that you'd watch in science class the way it's filmed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
It feels like a documentary.
It's almost
Yeah.
documentary
Yeah.
coverage, and it's just it's just a nasty movie.
I remember the first
in all
time.
in all the ways that movie has to be nasty.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
for sure.
It's not nasty. It's not. It's over the top generally, but for what it's portraying, it's not over the
The
top.
first time I watched that in the entirety, I watched it. My skin crawled the whole movie,
Yeah.
the whole movie.
Oh, it's a movie that looks like it smells.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
yeah.
And then you find out later that she had to fall into chicken bones like 100 times.
Yeah.
And
And then you find that that when they did the dinner scene, is it Gunnar Hansen? Is that his name?
Yeah.
The guy who played Leatherface.
yeah.
By then was like losing it because there was no air and he was in this fucking
Yeah.
mask and he was absolutely out of his fucking mind and he really cut her finger.
Yeah.
In that scene.
Yeah.
It seemed like an absolutely miserable that might be like the worst shoot that I've ever read about. Like
Yeah,
just
if you were-
the,
if
just
you
the
were-
misery that
if
they
you were
had to
one of
deal
the
with.
other kids that died early, you were probably happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that with that movie, they probably just had to stick around and be there. Like they couldn't
More
go
than
home.
likely. More than likely.
They probably. Where were they going to get a ride to go
Yeah.
home from?
They were in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
This is like guerrilla movie making where
Oh,
they
yeah.
shot that movie in that house.
Oh yeah.
I love that Toby Hooper gave John Larroquette weed as payment for the opening monologue. On that
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
The dude in the dude. So also the dude in the wheelchair. Like they actually legitimately hated that dude. Like he was so fucking annoying to them.
Really?
Yeah. Like
Grandpa?
no the
Oh, yeah, yeah,
her
yeah.
brother
I'll go with you.
yeah.
I'll go with you.
They hated everybody all the actors hated him and he hated all the other actors.
Well, you could tell
Yeah.
in the movie
Yeah.
that they couldn't. I couldn't stand him.
The guy who played Grandpa was like the youngest person in the entire
That's
shoot.
hilarious.
They just put him in makeup.
That's amazing.
I think the dude was like 20 at the time. Like it was like a 20 or 19-year-old.
Well, we've done
Playing
everything we can with Ed Gein. Not so fast.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
1991.
Yep.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Let's.
yeah.
Buffalo Bill is a little bit of a hodgepodge of a bunch of serial
Yeah.
killers, but
Which
particularly
oftentimes is how they do it.
but particularly the use of women's skin and women's dress and like being dressed up as a
Yeah.
woman and things like that is definitely prevalent heavily in
China.
there.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of Ted Bundy in Buffalo Bill. There's a
Yeah.
little bit of Ed Kemper, which if that's a story. If you like true crime, read it. If you don't.
Yeah.
Because that goes off the fucking rails. But yeah,
He's
just
a big role in Mindhunter.
yeah.
There was a run of films in the late 90s to early 2000s, and they would just be called by the serial. Like,
Oh yeah.
there's a movie called Ed Gein
Mhm.
that wasn't good. There was a John Wayne Gacy movie just called Gacy
Yeah.
that was played by
I've
the
seen
villain
that.
from.
I haven't seen that one. I've
that was
seen
played by the villain character from the first Pee Wee movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a great casting choice, honestly.
Yeah, because I do. Yeah.
Because you already dislike him for fucking around with Pee Wee.
How the fuck has Paul Walter Hauser never played John Wayne Gacy?
I think. Well, I mean, Brian Dennehy played Gacy, and I think you're not going to get any better
Probably
than
not,
that.
yeah,
Like you just
yeah.
not. But yeah, no. I think also how best to put this. Gacy was a clown.
Mhm.
And clowns by themselves are terrifying.
Oh yeah.
So now you add serial killer clown of children. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, it's too much.
I kind of stayed away from like the straight up like historical type movies or biographies and stuff like that.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, so I didn't look into like those or anything like that.
Really, just quickly talk about Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh sure.
yeah.
There's a lot there that just like let's paint them in the best light possible. I don't think the story would have been gotten made if they hadn't.
Right.
But it's honestly his passing away. Freddie Mercury's passing away is almost joyous.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a suffering for that man. It just was. I think from a capturing the essence of a person, I think Rami Malek did a fantastic job playing Freddie Mercury. I like the story, but I'm not in any way assuaged. Oh, this is what actually happened to them.
Right,
No.
of course.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. That one was. I really don't like that movie. I think that it like sanitizes Queen in a way that shouldn't be sanitized. Like, and it really like it downplays any faults of the other bandmates and kind of plays up more of Freddie, who is not here to kind of defend himself. On the flip side, that's why like I really, especially like musical biopics, like I really have no interest in watching them unless they do something unusual, which is on the flip side. And I think it's the same. Like he came in after Singer got shit canned. The same guy who directed that one did Rocket Man, and I think Rocket Man's actually very good because one, it's a jukebox musical.
Sure,
like it
right.
It has them like he plays song like they play his songs because like, hey, we want to have a musical number. It's not. And there's times where like he's floating, like when he starts playing Crocodile Rock.
Right.
It starts with him as a young child singing the bitches back with all of his neighbors like dancing in the streets.
Right.
So it doesn't like take itself
It's
seriously.
just trying to be a fun movie.
But he was also like, please, for God's sakes, talk about my flaws. Don't.
Yeah.
And usually like you're not going to get that kind of honesty with the people still alive because they want to portray themselves in the best light. Like none of the members of Queen want to look bad right now because they're not making music, but they're touring and shit like that, and they're still like they have this vaunted place in rock music history, so they don't want to like mess with that while they're alive.
Yeah, I think the ones that nail the based off of a true story, it seems to me anyway, are the more like British royal movies, like A King's Speech and there's been several on Queen Elizabeth that have probably been more accurate than a lot of presidential
I didn't look
movies.
into like the differences of it, but I want to call out Spencer. This was and this is like a biopic. This is what I like is that it doesn't just tell their whole life, because usually you have to sand so much down and to get into movie form that it just like wears away and it just becomes this bland thing. But if it tells about a specific part of the person's life and it really goes into detail, and that's what Spencer does. Spencer is about Princess Diana, and it's basically like the inciting incident that made her like come to terms with, I'm going to divorce Charles. And it's about like they spend a Christmas at their like at the royal estate, like in the country, and it's about that specific time, and so they're able to take their time with it and really explore maybe not exactly what happened, but like the feelings of what happened and things like that. So those are the kind of like things that I like when they're taking like a chunk of time and really going into detail about that, instead of we're just going to tell this person's whole life.
Right.
You know, like Oppenheimer, it really doesn't, it's like, okay, in school, but then like we're moving to creation of the bomb and then the aftermath and him losing his security clearance and everything like that. And that's really where we're gonna go. We're gonna tell the specific time, and we're not really gonna he was born and he did this and that, and we can fast forward to just get to the important part that we want to talk about.
Well, and that will also lightly in flash forwards touch on it.
Yeah,
like the scene with him and Einstein when Einstein's like, they're going to come together, they're going to give you cake, and they're going to give. Remember, it's not for you, it's for them, and just like those characters, that was genius.
Okay, yeah, that the thing that really makes that one interesting is the way that, and Nolan loves to do this in his movies, is the way he played with time.
Yeah,
like he jumped back and forth, so it wasn't just like a straightforward retelling. It was okay. We're gonna jump to this part, and here's when he's being, Here's when he's being, interrogated to get his security clearance, and we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna go forward to, here's Robert Downey Jr.'s character getting his trying to get his cabinet position, and so we move back and forth. So you're never like, if Nolan just told Oppenheimer in chronological order, and maybe used the Robert Downey Jr. thing as like a what do you call it when the
not bottle, but
window shade,
not anchor, not
Jesus Christ.
No, I know exactly what term you're.
Good Lord, I feel like I'm having a stroke. But it used it as a device to tell the story.
Framing device.
Jesus Christ! I thought a window.
I only just now thought of it.
Good God, we are losing our minds.
100%.
But if they just did, if they just told it in chronological order and then was like, this, we're going to use this as a framing device, it would have been the boring ass movie.
Well, yeah,
and I would have hated it. But the way he jumps back and forth, and it's more about like the feelings of this time, that makes it much more interesting.
Right.
Like I will never watch this movie because I really don't care about the dude, but the musical biopic with Robbie Williams, whoever the fuck that is, apparently he's a big name in Britain, but it's instead of just playing him it's just somebody playing him. He's an anthropomorphic monkey.
Yeah.
Because he's always felt like a monkey on stage performing for people.
Yeah. Right.
I appreciate
Better Man.
that. Better Man.
Yeah.
I will never watch this movie because I don't give a fuck. I don't even know who that is. Gun to my head, could not name a song that he's ever sung.
Yeah.
And that's why it bombed over here, because everybody's like, who the fuck is that? But that is an interesting thing because you're going out on a limb and you're doing something interesting with it.
Yeah, Robbie Williams, he was in a boy band over there, overseas.
Okay. You could be lying. I don't know.
Broke out as a solo artist. Actually had one or two hits over here.
Rock DJ was
in
one
the
of them.
the early 2000s.
No.
Gun to my head. Couldn't have told you.
No, I understand.
But he was
hum it.
But he was pretty much like here and gone like a fart in the wind. And also, much like the Gallagher brothers, also had a bad attitude while also being famous and rich, which is not a good look.
Yeah.
And then grew up eventually when he got into his 40s.
Yeah.
When you hit rock bottom Jesus, as I like to call it.
The Gallagher brothers still haven't done that.
Oh yeah, they're touring.
They're back together.
Yeah,
no, they're back together.
They're back together for right now.
Yeah, they need money. That's why.
Yeah, probably. Well, somebody probably said, "Hey, you have money, but you can make so much money, more money with this."
Would you like a new car?
I love George Harrison, but it's the fuck. You can only listen to Beatles songs so much. Like
that was way too coherent for a Gallagher brother.
well, motherfucker, get me some heroin right now. I'll do a fucking shit.
So
they may not have done smack. I apologize.
There's a documentary about them, and they had to use subtitles for because you can't understand what the fuck they're saying.
That's correct, because they did it behind the music on them.
Who translated it?
I don't fucking know.
Somebody who speaks Cockney.
Yeah.
Or Liverpool or whatever the fuck they were talking.
Yeah, that one dude that was out in the country in Hot Fuzz that had all the weapons in his, that guy.
That man's getting checks everywhere then.
It's like Brad Pitt's character in Snatch.
Yeah. Another thing to also jump into real quick is the two quote unquote heavy quotes historical movies that Tarantino made, where Glorious Bastards and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was about starring, had some real people in it that actually existed.
Right.
Hitler, he was real.
Right.
But
didn't die in a movie theater, though.
Didn't die in a movie theater.
And as far as cast goes, at least with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, all of new young Hollywood, holy shit.
Yeah.
Do you like Dirty Feet?
Yeah.
Because Quentin Tarantino likes to show you Dirty Feet for 5 minutes.
Oh, hell yeah. He really Tarantino'd all over that. But yeah, like of course, the way Hitler dies is not how Hitler dies in Inglourious Bastards. And Sharon Tate survives in
there was
Once Upon a Time.
there was never any killings.
Yeah.
The only killings that happened were fucking all of what's his name's men.
The family.
Yeah, what was it? Sharon Tate and was it one of her friends was Hines.
I know it's called the La Bianca murder. There was La Bianca house because it happened.
But that was just like the house that they moved into.
Right.
The people there. That was Tate's house.
Yeah.
Her and
Roman Polanski.
But one of the girls who was Sharon Tate's friend was like an heiress to one of the like Hines or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe the O. Henry bar or something.
But yeah, the way he like plays with time and with like historical
things. And the thing is, like, I
things.
like that because the movie didn't end on a downbeat.
Yeah. Well, he played with that one especially because if you know anything about Sharon Tate,
unless you were hoping that Mikey Madison didn't get fucking flamethrowered in the pool.
Man,
in that case, you hated it.
That was
She's
cool.
been set on fire more than once in a movie.
Oh my God, you're right. Shit.
Yeah.
God damn. And then Margaret
while wearing black.
Yeah. And then Margaret Qualley gets fucking obliterated by a car. That was pretty good. He really wanted to like fucking kill Charles Manson.
Oh yeah.
I don't mean like in the movie. I mean Quentin Tarantino wanted to go to that fucking California prison.
There's like Sharon like the Tate murders is like one of the things that like was the death of
there's a deleted
peace
scene
and love era.
There's a deleted scene where
Altamont finished that off.
Yeah, Altamont was the other big
there's
one.
a deleted scene in Once Upon a Time where like Manson goes to talk to Brian Wilson about them doing a song.
And that really happened
because that actually did happen.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Fuck you, man! I'll show you, motherfucker!"
Charlie Manson, baby.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Helter Skelter.
Yeah. Helter Skeleta.
Yeah. That was So yeah, those are like very like the loosest of loosely based. He basically
also
like
Helter Skelter is a loosely based movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They usually don't bring up that the Manson family wanted to start a race war.
Yeah, there was a lot of
usually
weird.
leave that part out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm kind of tapped out. But,
yeah.
We hit we hit the Charles Manson wall.
Yeah,
I want to say one that most people that I didn't know about. The movie Sound of Music, that was actually based off a true story.
The Von Trapp family.
Yeah,
I did not know.
It was based off of a book written by Maria Von Trapp, who was one of the daughters. The story of the Trapp family singers.
Okay.
I think the main difference in that movie is that she talks about how her stepmother, who was played by Julie Andrews in the movie, was actually kind of a bitch and was not very good to the children.
Well, I mean, that time period.
But
that's just the way that goes.
But yeah, that one was an interesting one that I found out about. But yeah, now I'm tapped out.
Yeah, yeah. I think we've expended all of our energies as much as we possibly can when talking about such dark subject matter at the which is why I wanted us to wait to the very end to talk about it. When it comes to the serial killer aspect of the based on a true story
and just true crime
in general, which also can be not fabricated but embellished.
Yeah, it is usually quite often
dramatization,
dramatized, and that doesn't necessarily mean that like any of these movies are necessarily bad because they're not 100%
Some
accurate.
of them are entertaining
because sometimes you have to change some things up for entertainment. Sometimes you have to change some things up to kind of like protect people. Some of the times you change stuff to just be an asshole.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you think of a really cool idea for a sitcom called When Noah Met Lot.
Sometimes you have
I'm
to.
so glad that I was able to introduce that to y'all.
Sometimes you have to cut out some of the tragedies because people won't believe it. The Iron Claw.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, they deleted a whole brother because people wouldn't believe that this many deaths happened in one family, and they did.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to cut things out because nobody will believe it. The Wire, Michael K. Williams' character, is based off a real character.
Mm-hmm.
There's the point where he jumps out of like a 3rd-story window to escape some people who are trying to kill him and survives. 3 or 4 story. He actually jumped out of like a 7th-story window in real life, and they were like, we have to lower this because nobody will believe that you survived this.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Well,
there were a couple of others like that I can't think of, but yeah.
Audie Murphy, from To Hell and Back. He wrote the book of his stuff, and all of it was like corroborated by like everybody he fought with. When they went to do the movie starring Audie Murphy, they said, Audie, no one's going to believe you did all this. We have to tone it down. Talking directly to the man who's one, lived it, and 2 is going to portray it.
Right.
Is that the sniper guy?
No, that's Chris Kyle. No, Audie Murphy.
No. I'm thinking there was like a sniper in World War II. The Daniel Bruhl's character that they do the sniper thing in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
He was based off of British, I believe, British or American dude who like that literally happened to him.
Audie Murphy hid the fact that he had, I believe, tuberculosis in order to enlist. He goes over to Europe. He's got like 4 friends in a fucking burning tank destroyer.
Oh yeah, okay.
He runs into the tank, starts literally like one-shotting German tanks the entire way. By the way, the fuel tank's on fire.
Yeah.
He gets everybody, drags people out, and then right as like he's dragging the last one out, the whole thing goes up in fucking smoke. He had like into the teens tank kills that day. Yeah. And saved an entire tank crew with it blowing up. Oh, and by the way, as he's carrying all of them, he has tuberculosis.
Yeah. I remember that guy.
When Audie Murphy got back to the United States, they pinned every fucking medal they possibly could on him.
Was it Hacksaw Ridge movie or whatever?
No, that guy called To Hell and Back.
Oh, okay.
Hacksaw Ridge, that guy was he was a pacifist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But there was another guy who was like a sniper who was in a tower who took out like almost a fucking battalion worth of people.
Yeah.
That the character, the German character in that they make the movie about in Inglourious Bastards, that really happened. He was either a British or American dude. I cannot remember. But he was in a bell tower and he like fucking took out an ungodly amount of German soldiers. And I believe they also made a movie about him as well. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Well, that's
damn. We keep finding,
finding more.
We got to stop.
Yeah. We've expended all of our energies the second time for all of these loosely based on a true story. Passengers, if you have any loosely based on true stories or based on true stories or more accurately based on true story films,
if you're Audie Murphy
or TV shows, let us know.
Oh, I will say, if you are interested in this, I want to give a shout out to a really good YouTube channel called History Buffs. He will he'll take a movie that's based on some kind of historical event, and it could be anything from like far history up to like very current things. Yeah, and he'll go over it and talk about like what's different in it.
Okay,
and he'll even be, and he's not like shitting on it the whole time. But he's like, hey, I understand sometimes you have to change some things and everything.
Right,
but he does a really good breakdown of like, hey, here's what really happened with this and everything, and here's how it's accurate and how it's not accurate. Definitely History Buffs. Check that YouTube channel out.
That's good stuff there. We'd like to thank McNard Gaming for this lovely recording space in the studio. Right now, I don't think there's any specific sales going on, but there's always a little corner or something on sale. McNard Gaming, they got everything you could ever want if you're a nerd.
Do you want a waifu? They've got it.
at least on the television.
We watched waifu horse racing tonight. It was amazing.
Passively and intermittently.
You and
It was
me
on
were
the
watching
TV
it
while
passively.
we did.
I watched it every so often
You watched it
because
passively.
and I got angry and I said maybe anime shouldn't have existed because I hate where we came from to where we've gotten currently.
All right, old man yelling at clouds.
We've gone from Akira and Jiddo Cyber, where people get their arms ripped out of their sockets, to horses, but they're not horses. They're anime girls with horse ears running around a horse track.
I just lament the fact that we no longer have anime that's just like 25, 26 episodes, and that's the entire fucking story, and you can watch the whole thing and get everything.
But they're just starting on when they find the One Piece.
I don't want to watch seasons of anime. I want to watch one anime. That's my old man yelling at clouds.
I feel that. I
26
remember
to 50 episodes. That's how much.
Yeah.
That's how much of an anime I should have. I should be able to watch to get the whole fucking story.
Yeah, I feel you. They're doing the last season of My Hero Academia, so it's gonna be a 6-season or 7-season show, and that's gonna be it.
and then there'll be My Hero Academia Shippuden.
Well, there'll definitely be spin-offs of it for sure because it's popular.
It's never finished if it's a
Demon Slayer's 3 seasons.
Huh.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that.
Yeah. Yeah. You would think of super. Anyway. All right. For Travelers on the Omnibus, I've been Jody Kite.
I'm James McCarthy. Oh, sorry.
I didn't know which way we were going. Sorry.
We normally don't go clockwise, but we want to.
Sometimes we go clockwise.
One part of the clock was missing.
The Phantom Zone.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm Ethan Skinnell.
I'm Brady Davis.
And I'm James McCarthy.
Good night. Good luck. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, I don't think we have we don't have anything. Where did my fucking...
Oh, wow.
Our schedule has been
what the fuck?
taken to somewhere.
They've taken our paperwork.
Our calendar is missing.
What the fuck?
They've
for what
taken
we were
our
going
fucking
to
paperwork.
Talk about
Like,
what we were going to be
seriously.
doing next week. So I guess we don't fucking know.
I don't think we knew anyway, but it's still a little...
Yeah.
it still
Bullshit.
sucks.